Welcome to the Fruitful Yield Talk on weight loss, appetite, and GLP-1. This is for educational purposes only. Please see your medical professional if you have any questions. So what is a GLP-1 agonist drug? GLP-1 agonist drugs are actually medications that help lower blood sugar levels and promote weight loss. There's a bunch of different types: Trulicity, Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro. So GLP-1, actually it means glucagon-like peptide 1. It's a hormone or a peptide. It's the same thing. So how they work is they're actually GLP-1 agonists. So let's talk about what an agonist is. Agonists, think of it as like a tickler, sort of. It stimulates your cells to do certain things, like make GLP-1. So an agonist is something that causes a specific physiological response in the cell. It can be naturally occurring, which I think is best, or artificial. The GLP-1 drugs, like Wegovy and stuff, they are artificial. So GLP-1, it's an agonist drug that works by artificially mimicking the GLP-1 peptide that you have in your system already. It artificially floods your system with a weekly dose that you inject and stimulates certain body responses. So the body responses are, it balances insulin response. So a lot of people who have weight issues have a problem with insulin resistance. So it helps the pancreas give proper amounts of insulin. It also slows gastric release and gives the stomach a feeling of fullness. That's actually key. I'll explain why in a second. The biggest effect that everybody gets, and the reason that people often have very good results on these drugs, is it decreases appetite by engaging your hypothalamus to trigger satiety, satiation. I'm not hungry. I'm just not hungry. The satiation thing is the biggest piece. So how does it work? It works by injecting a high dose of the GLP-1 drug once a week. So the problem with that is, since the body has such a large dose, the body is much less inclined to make its own GLP-1 agonist because of such a large flood of that chemical dose. So it's kind of like an atrophied muscle. You know, if you don't use a muscle, it atrophies. If you keep injecting this, then when you have to stop, when the GLP-1 injection stops, your body no longer makes GLP-1, at least not anywhere near as much as it did. And when the GLP-1 drug is discontinued, cravings, out of balance food choices, out of balance eating may resume, as well as increased food-seeking behaviors. Once a person starts on a GLP-1 drug, medical professionals typically recommend that they stay on it for life. Always check with your doctor. They report that people who stop taking the GLP-1 drugs are likely to gain all the lost weight back within about a year, plus some additional extra pounds. This can cause rebound weight gain. After you stop a semaglutide like Ozempic or Wegovy, you could gain more weight back. Now, we're going to talk more about that in a few minutes. Why go the natural route? Well, because natural targeted supplements support your own body's production of GLP-1. They should be considered because they flex your body's own ability to generate and utilize GLP-1 agonists and all their related benefits. So what does an agonist do again? The GLP-1 agonist, whether it's natural, you make it yourself, or you inject it, it gives you a feeling of fullness. It slows gastric emptying, stomach emptying. It stimulates the pancreas to support insulin secretion. And this is the important part I said I was going to get to. That feeling of fullness from the stomach, it signals up a pathway called the sympatho-gastrospinal reticular hypothalamic pathway. It stimulates that pathway. It's literally a pathway up to your hypothalamus, and you get a feeling of fullness or satiety, like you really don't care about food. Overall, you end up eating less and seeking food less. And that satiety, or the disbursement of this food-seeking behavior, is amazing. It's life-changing for people, because people who have weight issues, typically they wake up thinking about food. They think about food all day. And to have that gone, it's wonderful. So, can you increase GLP-1 agonist activity naturally without drugs? You absolutely can. Do you know that yerba mate tea, actually yerba mate tea is a GLP-1 stimulator? Am I recommending that? No, and this is why. You would have to drink so much yerba mate tea that you would just, it's way too much caffeine for anybody. So there are a bunch of other things that also stimulate GLP-1, which we'll talk about in a minute. So natural ingredients that are in the natural alternatives confer a lot of benefits, and there's a whole page of them. So I'm going to talk about the natural benefits: healthy cell growth, healthy cellular structure, antioxidant activity, supporting a healthy heart, gut lining health, food absorption, healthy food cravings, balanced metabolic functionings without stressing your metabolic system, muscle mass retention, immune system health, cognitive brain function, healthy inflammation levels, brain and microbiome gut health, brain and nerve support, overall well-being, and uplifted mood. Those are the side benefits of going the natural route when you're trying to stimulate GLP-1 activity. What's our first product that we're going to talk about? You know, at Fruitful Yield, we like to give you a few options, but this is really the only option we have as a GLP-1 alternative. Now, you do not take this if you're taking Wegovy or any semaglutide. GLP-1s are also called semaglutides. You do not take this if you're taking those. So GLP-1 Advantage, code H GLP-1 Advantage, is the product. So it confers a bunch of ingredients that are very helpful to stimulate GLP-1. So I'm going to go over some of them. You can see them here on the slide. This is just a general overview of how they help. Chromium, think of decreased carb cravings. Boron helps you metabolize carbohydrates so you can utilize them better. And if you don't have enough boron, you also can't build healthy muscle and healthy bone. Transresveratrol, it is a free radical scavenger. It's an antioxidant that helps the cells be healthy. Berberine actually helps with weight management, heart health, liver health. It also stimulates your body, and metabolic health. It also stimulates your body to make a certain kind of bacteria in your gut called Akkermansia muciniphila. It's very, very important. I will talk a lot about Akkermansia forthcoming. It has decaffeinated green tea, which is also a free radical scavenger or an antioxidant. It also helps with boosting your metabolism. And it has something in it called ECGC. ECGC helps hair retention. A lot of times people have problems with hair loss. It's because the DHT causes weakness in the hair root. So ECGC actually inhibits DHT formation. So cool. Gymnema, you're not going to like this one, but it's really necessary. Gymnema makes sugar taste like sawdust. You don't want that to taste good. It won't mess with the rest of your food, but it makes sugar not taste so good, and it helps you not want that. It has a probiotic blend, including Akkermansia muciniphila, which is very important because it helps the gut lining, it helps the mucous membrane be healthy. If that mucous membrane is healthy, then the healthy bacteria that call for healthy foods will grow. If it's gone or not healthy, it's very hard to have good food cravings. Turmeric, curcumin, oh my gosh, that helps with 200 things. It helps with your muscles and inflammation levels, your brain, your liver, your heart. It also stimulates GLP-1 agonists. And then L-taurine, what that does is that's the piece that helps the pancreas secrete the correct amount of, or a healthy amount of insulin. Taurine also helps minerals get back and forth through the cell walls, so it helps nourish your cells appropriately. So this is a fantastic alternative. It's 2 capsules a day, 30 minutes before your largest meal. It's not an injection. Is it going to work as fast? No. But what could you expect? You could expect, as you still work with your diet, still get exercise, still drink plenty of water, as you work with those things, you should start feeling a sense of satiety, which is amazing. This is highly recommended for both men and women of all ages looking for GLP-1 help. It's a combination of all the things we just talked about. And the other thing it does is it's a liposomal delivery. You know, when you have salad dressing, you have to shake it because oil and water don't mix, they separate. Well, oil and oil mix. You never have to shake an oil dressing, right? This is oil-based, so it goes right into the cells. It's very, very, very bioavailable. So this is our natural alternative, okay? So we have to section these, what I'm about to talk about, out. So this is the GLP-1 agonist natural route. You do not take this if you're also taking Wegovy or something like that. If there was an opportunity for you to transfer from one to the other, please have your doctor's help, because if you are on that, you need to titrate it down and you absolutely have to address it with a doctor. So what about another option? So we have the GLP-1 agonist option, and then we have berberine body fat burner. So this is just another option for weight management. It has something in it called berberine. This is a very good formula. I actually have my girlfriend on this one. If you know, berberine is classically not well absorbed. That's why typically you have to take 500 3 times a day, right? So what your body does is it takes that berberine, which is water soluble, by the way, and it brings it to the liver, and the liver has to change it to dihydroberberine, and then you can use it. If the liver doesn't change it, you just can't use it. So dihydroberberine. Guess what's in here? This is the form of dihydroberberine. So you take it and it goes right to work. Great. So what does berberine do? All those things I just said, but it also supports AMPK. AMPK promotes healthy brown fat as opposed to unhealthy white fat. AMPK is what you get when you exercise, it's what your body produces, and when you intermittent fast. So again, it helps not only detox, it gives you some energy, but it also helps you promote healthy brown fat, and just great. The other thing berberine does is it supports the growth of Akkermansia muciniphila, a healthy bacteria in your gut lining. So let's talk about Akkermansia. It's an important bacteria because it helps produce and protect the important mucosal lining of the gut. That mucosal lining helps the gut barrier and the intestinal lining. When that's healthy, it improves absorption of nutrition. It improves the body's ability to rid itself of pathogens like viruses, bacteria, mold, fungus, yeast, bad stuff from the digestive tract. So Akkermansia is really important. This formula also has cinnamon, which helps with blood sugar. It has chromium picolinate. We already talked about chromium in the other product that supports minimizing carbohydrate cravings and healthy insulin interactions or insulin functioning. It also has the green tea again, you know, that naturally derived caffeine that helps not only your metabolism and is a free radical scavenger, it also helps you with your hair. Now, GLP-1 Advantage and berberine body fat burner, you would not choose both. You would choose one or the other. So if you're more focused on getting the feeling of satiety and that whole GLP-1 thing, that's great, the GLP-1 Advantage. If you want a really good weight management product, that doesn't necessarily deal with that, but does all the other things and does support GLP-1 a little bit. Berberine fat body burner is a very good one. It is not vegan, by the way. It is in a bovine gel capsule, so it is not vegan. So what if you're already, so we're going to move to another section now. We had the GLP-1 alternative, code age advantage. Then we had a kind of a standard weight management option. Now we're going to talk about what if you're already on a GLP-1 agonist drug like was Wegovy, Ozempic, those things. Well, when you're on those things, you typically get, a lot of people get side effects. What are some of those side effects? This is literally from a medical site. Diabetic retinopathy, thyroid cancer, injection site reactions, increased heart rate, gallbladder-related events, acute kidney injury, hypoglycemia, gastrointestinal events like nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, pancreas-related events like pancreatitis. Those are the possible side effects from Wegovy, all those semi-glutide drugs, Trulicity, all those. This product, GLP-1 Harmony Companion, is made to take with, to partner or companion with a GLP-1 drug. So if you're on a Wegovy or Trulicity or any of those guys, this is what you take for that to help with those side effects. Okay, so we want to be very clear what this is. So yes, you take this with your GLP-1s. So what does it have in it? It has lion's mane, which helps organ systems. It also helps the brain. PEA is a special, and by the way, all of these also support GLP-1. PEA is not like a little P, it's actually a formula that's specifically for joint health. I use PEA, it's great for joints. Resveratrol, again, it's good for your heart. Resveratrol is what they say the benefit in red wine is, but you would have to drink so much red wine that it would be ridiculous, so it's better to just take it. Anyway, we already talked about resveratrol. Bovine colostrum. Colostrum is basically for immune system. It's colostrum, what it is it's, think of this as a pathogen. And think of this as an antigen. Colostrum is a bunch of antigens. And what happens is when a pathogen gets in your system and the body misses it, like it sneaks past its defenses, the colostrum, the antigens in colostrum attach to the invader, the pathogen, and says, here, get this one, you missed this one. And then the macrophage comes and eats it up. You should look it up online. It's so entertaining. Anyway, so it has a really good formula for immune. Shilajit resin extract. It supports with detoxification. It has trace minerals in it that are very important for your electrical system in your body to work. It has acromantia. Again, you're going to see acromantia a lot. Elderberry and blueberry extracts are polyphenols. They help with the healthy cell growth. Citrus bioflavonoids, there's something called Morosil. This isn't it, but it's very similar. It helps with weight around your midsection. And then broccoli, it helps with hormone balance. Broccoli has something in it called DIM that helps with hormone balance. So anyway, and all those things help with GLP-1 agonist production in your body. So again, this one you would take if you were on Wegovy or Trulicity, any of those GLP-1 agonist semaglutide drugs. They say to take this 2 capsules a day, 30 minutes before your largest meal. It's a very, very good company, well-established, really good facilities, wonderful company. So we just talked that GLP-1 agonists do have side effects. We talked about the natural options. Now, let's say you're taking a GLP-1 drug and you do have the side effects, but you don't necessarily want to take the companion. Okay, you want to kind of like isolate. Now, I don't want you to get confused. I want you to understand what's happening now. I'm going to go into 4 of the biggest issues, side effects, if you're taking a GLP-1 drug. But any of those you could use anywhere in your life. So if you have nutritional deficiency, maintaining muscle mass, all of those. So we're going to start with addressing the side effects. So we already talked about the possible side effects of the drugs. So one of the first ones is loss of muscle mass. That's a common one. The reduced metabolic rate impact the body's ability to maintain results. So this is a loss of muscle mass and weight regain that is from a medical website. So you see the first woman was, whether you're on a reduced calorie diet, a GLP-1 agonist, or you have a bariatric procedure, most people typically will lose 25% of their muscle mass. Okay, in my research, it was up to 50%. Why is that a problem? Because muscle burns more calories than fat. So if you see this woman in the middle, she lost the weight, yay for her. But if you look at the woman on the end, now she has a reduced metabolic rate. Even though she's on a low calorie diet, she gained all the weight back. And if you compare the first person here to the third image, you can see she's fluffier. That's because she has less muscle mass and more fat. So she's going to have a problem maintaining results. So loss of muscle mass, what do we do about that? So what are some of the natural targeted options to the side effects from taking GLP-1 drugs? This is one of my favorite. My husband and myself take this every morning. Body Health Perfect Aminos. It's a dietary supplement that is utilized up to 99% to help build new muscle and protein and collagen without a caloric impact. You can do this if you're fasting. One scoop or 5 tablets provides 5 grams of usable protein. Now, it says it compares to 29 grams, it's equal to or comparable to 29 grams of whey, soy, dairy, or nuts. What does that mean? What it means is if you take a whey that has 29 grams of protein, you're actually only going to get 5 grams of usable protein from that. Because to make muscle, you need a very specific amount and proportions of amino acids, like the building blocks, right? This provides the exact building blocks you need, right? It's great stuff. So this is a really good one for building and maintaining muscle mass. Another one that's really good is the GLP-1 support protein from Theory. This offers 20 grams of whey protein supporting muscle mass and bone health. It targets GLP-1 users and supports muscle and bone health while you're on a calorie restricted diet. So this is whey, so it's not as targeted as the one I just told you about, but it does provide protein. It also provides like calories for a meal, right? But it features something that's very different. It features calcium D3 and 3 grams of HMB. HMB supports against lean muscle mass. And it has 7.5 grams of fiber. So you need, when you're on a calorie restricted diet, you need protein, fiber, and nutrient-dense foods. How does HMB fit in here? Okay, first of all, HMB is the clinical dose. HMB is a clinical dose. They did a study, and you can look it up. They did a study where senior citizens who were not exercising took 3 grams of HMB for 3 months, and they increased muscle mass by 12%. That's amazing. They don't recommend not exercising, but these were people who needed to build some muscle mass, and they did 3 grams of HMB. They resulted in 12% more muscle mass at the end of 3 months. So this is right here. It's a great formula. So you have your whey, you have your HMB, and you have your fiber. Great stuff. So one more option for building muscle is fasting today. This is really cool because sometimes you don't really want something to eat, but you want to have those amino acids. Well, this is very similar to that Perfect Aminos I showed you. This has the amino acids for muscle building. It also has baobab, which is a kind of fiber that helps you not feel hungry, and it has electrolytes. So this is a very nice, like, snack. Like if you want to have something you don't want to eat, but you also don't want to, because, okay, if you don't have enough protein, why do people lose muscle? Why? Because if they don't have it, if you don't take any protein in, your body will eat your own muscle. It's called autophagy. It will eat your own muscle. So you don't want to do that. You want to give your body the nutrition it needs so that you can retain your muscle mass. So that was muscle wasting or muscle mass loss. What are some of the other possible side effects? Nutritional deficiency. Because you don't feel like eating anymore, it's very important that you focus on, you can't do pizza and Snickers. You just can't. You got to do protein, fiber, and nutrient-dense foods. Nutrient deficiencies can lead to hair loss, fatigue, weakness, cognitive impairment, and more. This is a really cool multivitamin. It says GLP-1 support right on the front. It's doctor formulated. It replenishes deficiencies that can result from a reduced calorie diet. It has high absorption methylated vitamins and chelated minerals that benefit while still being gentle on your stomach. It has nutrient-rich vitamins that support immunity and energy production. And it supports bone and immune health with the D and some of the other supplements that are in here. It's a very nice multivitamin for people who are on a GLP-1 or anybody. This is one of my favorite products. My husband and I do this every day. This is Ancient Nutrition Organic Super Green Foods. So, super greens naturally detox, they alkalize, the B vitamins in it give you natural energy. There's super green food like broccoli is here, asparagus is here. Super green foods are on the ceiling as far as how nutrient dense they are. So why did I pick this one? If you ever go to a Fruitful Yield store, you'll see an entire section of greens. Why would I pick this one to show you? Okay, so most of the other brands, it takes 4 pounds of greens. They dehydrate them very nice, raw, under 120 degrees. It's done very, very well. But it takes 4 pounds of greens to make 1 pound of that dehydrated greens powder, 4 to 1. 1 pound takes 4 pounds. This is juiced greens, and the juice is dehydrated. So this is dehydrated juice greens. It takes 28 pounds of greens to make 1 pound of this. This is extremely nutrient dense. Fantastic. This is the plain one, but they have a berry and they have a mango that are very, very good. I only buy that one now. But the berry and the mango are fantastic. And it comes in a gummy. Now, I'm not super hot on gummies, but with a 28 to 1 concentration, this would be great. It's, they have it here exhibited as a on-the-go product, certainly. If you have a child or a family member who just won't do greens, this is a very nice option, and it's strawberry watermelon flavor. What's another possible side effect? Bone density loss. The image on the bottom looks more like a honeycomb. You do not want that. You want the one on the top that looks more like a sponge. So how do you get that? As we get older, we need to supplement. Your body has to have the building blocks to make the bone. Where is it going to get them? If you wanted to have your kitchen redone, you wouldn't go to your cabinet and try to find it. You have to get specific materials, right? So when you want to rebuild bone, you have to have specific materials. That's what this provides. This is Jarrow Formula Bone Up. It's a 3 per day. It has everything you need to build bones. And one of the things that I want you to know is calcium will not do it. You have to have calcium. You have to have 5 things. You have to have calcium and magnesium to good ratios. You have to have D3. You have to have MK7 or K2 and boron. Calcium, magnesium, D, K2, and boron. Okay? You have to have all 5 of those. Otherwise, your body can't make the bone properly. So here's one, and then here's another one, Red Remedies, Bone Health Advanced. Again, they have all 5 of those things. So why did I bring 2? So this is the 3 per day. If anybody ever sells you a bone supplement and it's 1 tiny capsule and they say that's all you need, they're not telling you the truth. Because most supplements are like pinheads. Calcium and magnesium are basketballs. They're huge molecules. That's why these are so big. If you have a problem with big capsules, you could always open them, put them in a little bit of water, and throw them back. You can do that, or you could put them in some applesauce or a little bit of yogurt, just get them in that way. Bone supplement. If it says bone supplement on it and it's at the fruitful yield, it's everything you need to make bone. Another possible side effect is stomach upset, bloating, vomiting, esophageal discomfort. Super enzymes. An enzyme, a digestive enzyme, is super important. Think of an enzyme as scissors. It cuts up or breaks down the food so that it's liquid, so it can be easily absorbed in your system. Now, you do not want to have food that is not properly digested, especially. I particularly like this one because it has ox bile. If you see on the second line of the supplement facts, it has ox bile. That really helps the gallbladder give you what you need to process your fats and your nuts and things like that. This is also a really good one if you have a sluggish gallbladder or if you don't have a gallbladder. I have friends who don't have a gallbladder, and they find this one to be the best of all the things they tried for that. Here's a gut lining. So you see the first one, and you see that it has a little bit of a mucous membrane on it, right? And then you see the other one with the abnormal inflammatory response and the immune response. So what you're seeing is the pathogens are going straight into the blood. And so is the food substances, by the way. Without that mucous membrane lining, food goes straight into the bloodstream. That's why you get bloating and stuff, because the body's saying, oh my God, broccoli does not belong in our bloodstream. Well, so that mucous membrane lining is very important. The GLP-1 probiotic has Akkermansia. And remember, I told you Akkermansia is very good for developing that mucous membrane lining, right? So it's very important. In my research, I also discovered that when you have Akkermansia, you really should have a bifido strain with it. They kind of use each other to work well. This one has a bifido strain, and it also has a colostrum strain for the immunity aspect. And it has some chicory insulin as a prebiotic. So this is a very nice one, whether you're on the GLP-1 diet or you just have maybe some leaks in a gut issue. Very, very nice option. It helps with healthy gut, metabolic support, and immune function. The next one, this is also a probiotic. This is one of my favorite. I have taken this on and off for years. We call this the gardener. It's Just Thrive Probiotic. It's a spore-based formula that survives 100% in your gut. It stays sporulated until it senses a hospitable environment, and then it opens up and starts to work. So how does it work? It literally takes residence in your gut lining and cleans it up. It boosts the health of the good bacteria and decreases the health of the bad bacteria. And the other thing it does is it stimulates your body to make Akkermansia. Yes, it stimulates your body to make Akkermansia, and it naturally makes antioxidants right in your gut, where you need to help those cells recover and be healthy. They did a study with this one a few years ago in Champaign-Urbana, and they took two groups and they all had to have leaky gut. At the end of a month, all they had to do, they had a placebo and a regular, the college students didn't have to change anything about their lifestyle or anything. All they had to do was take one of these per day. That's it. At the end of a month, 80% of the people who took this did not have leaky gut anymore. 80% in 1 month without any changes. Would I recommend that you make no life changes? No, of course, make healthy life changes. So what about food coming back up, esophageal discomfort? This is a great one. It's called Heartburn Rescue. What it does, it provides relief from occasional heartburn, acid indigestion, and stomach upset. It's a blend of D-limonene and sea buckthorn. Okay, so what does it do? So it's very important for you to have acid in your stomach. That's what is one of your first lines of defense against pathogens. Your acid in your stomach literally burns some of the bad pathogens. It also helps break down your food. But if you're taking like a PPI or something to relieve the fluid coming back up from your esophageal opening, what you're doing is you're decreasing the acid. So you're actually not able to digest your food as much and stuff like that. And why would you do that? So that when that comes up, when that food in your stomach or the stuff in your stomach comes back up, it's alkaline and it won't burn the sensitive tissue of the esophageal tube. But the problem is it's not much use to you anymore, all right? Now, what does this do? So what it does is that esophageal opening between the stomach and the esophagus, what it does is you take it with your food and then it rises up, it floats up on top of the food and causes a temporary raft. It causes a temporary raft that keeps the food in the stomach. So it's great. It keeps the food in the stomach instead of up in your esophagus. The other thing about esophageal discomfort is please don't lay down after you eat. That's just asking for trouble. Sit up. Right? If possible, kind of walk around a little bit, but yeah. Anyway, great for esophageal discomfort. Fatigue. Another common side effect is fatigue, feeling tired, run down. When you're really tired, you have cognitive impairment, a general loss of delight in simply living a life. Ginseng. We actually use this ginseng in our home. This is a powerful red ginseng that has been valued for generations in the Asian cultures. It not only gives you energy for physical and mental stamina, but it can give you resilience for if you have occasional mental strain, mindfulness, focus, concentration, stamina, endurance. It supports healthy cortisol, serotonin, and GABA levels. So ginseng gives you energy but doesn't give you the jitters. They have the chewable, which is 100 milligrams, or they have the capsule, which is 200 milligrams. So ginseng is a great thing that's been used forever and great for, so when would you choose one and the other? The chewable would be if you want the energy quickly. The capsule or the gel cap would be if you want it like more sustained over time. It usually takes about a half an hour to kick in, the capsule. This kicks in, the chewable kicks in pretty quick. When you're on a diet, no matter what kind it is, it's very important to use high protein. Why? Because you need those proteins so that you can retain your muscle mass. High fiber, so you can move things out. Healthy fats, like avocado and things like that. Nutrient-dense foods, like super green foods, broccoli, asparagus. Nourishing foods and snacks, otherwise known as good food. So why consider going the natural route? Remember, when you inject it, your body's saying, oh, you're providing it. I don't really have to make GLP-1 anymore. The reason we want to consider going the natural route is it flexes your body's own ability to generate the GLP-1 agonists and confer all the benefits. And remember, we had a whole page of benefits side benefits as opposed to side effects. Healthy cell growth, healthy cellular structure, free radical scavenger, antioxidant activity, healthy heart health, gut lining, food absorption, healthy cravings, balanced metabolic functioning, muscle mass retention, immune system health, cognitive brain functioning, healthy inflammation levels, brain and microbiome gut health, brain and nerve support, overall well-being, and an uplifted mood. So to recap, there's the advantage, if you want to go the natural route, the code-age GLP-1 advantage, or if you're already on the GLP-1 drugs, GLP-1 Harmony, you take that with the Wegovy's or whatever it is, the semaglutides. GLP-1 Harmony, you take with those. I know you're going to ask, if I take the GLP-1 Advantage, should I take the Harmony? No, you don't need to. They are not companions to one another. The companion is the companion to the GLP-1 drugs. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can go to the Fruitful Yield website, and we have something right on the front page called Ask an Expert. You can type in your questions, and we're supposed to give you an answer within 24 hours. You can also visit the Fruitful Yield store and chat with our educated associates, or you can get anything I talked about on the Fruitful Yield website, fruitfulyield.com. Thank you so much. All the best to you.